Yeah, hi there, this is tuxaucher.com again. Welcome on my video channel. Maybe you remember my video last year where I was comparing the different high-res or super resolution features in the different software programs like in Lightroom, Photoshop, Lumina Neo and on one Photo RAW. But on the same day I did those test photos for this video and this article. I also did a couple other photographs, and they were testing the high-res mode which is built into the camera, especially of course the Lumix camera, which both here my S9 and my S1R Mark II both offer a high-res modus with 4 times the resolution compared to the original resolution. So let's take a look into the park and see what I did there. Okay, we are here in the same place in the park and with another camera, and this time we are doing this with the Lumix S1R Mark II. Take one shot with the regular resolution of 44 megapixel at f8.0 and another one in the high-res mode for 196 or so, or 176 megapixel as a high resolution shot from the tripod. Okay, the first shot is taken, and I have the comparison between the regular resolution and the high-res image. And now we might take a couple of other pictures to have more comparison in the later comparison at home in Lightroom or Photoshop. Okay, got our images. I took 4 to 5 images so we can compare them between regular resolution and high-res. And doing the high-res images, I occurred that the Lumix cameras have a delay for the shutter, which is up to 30 seconds, so you have the same effect as a self-timer. So it's pretty good, so you have to no caveat in the practicing high-res resolution images from a tripod which is like not that steady. Okay, now we're gonna import the images and look at them in Lightroom, and of course we will compare them to the high-res images we did in a software like in Lightroom or Photoshop. As you could see, I took different photographs with the regular resolution of the camera and in high-res mode. So with both cameras, so we have a good comparison to this. And now we import them into Lightroom and take a closer look. Okay, I imported already the different images from the park into Lightroom Classic. And I also did some preparation for the comparison. That is, here you got the original image, which is from the camera without any high resolution setting or so on. And here I did a virtual copy, and that I enlarged or did a super resolution on with Lightroom Classic. And here we got the high resolution image right out of the camera. Okay, we mark those 2 images here and do a comparison view. And if we go over here like this, you can see almost no difference between the image enlarged or enhanced with the Lightroom Classic done with a high-res setting in the camera. Maybe we do another one. Like take for example those 2. That is the one from the camera enlarged in Lightroom, and that is the image enlarged in the camera, but they were taken with the Lumix S1R Mark II. And here we see a little bit of difference or in the sharpness of those 2 images here in the branches and so on. And it's not much, but it's pretty visible. So at this point I think it was better to let the camera do the high-res setting. I have another one like here, that is that image and that one, I think. Do a comparison. Okay, and here you can see, yeah, really no difference here in the fine details of the window. And even if we go over here on those parts of the image, that is, to me at least, identical in sharpness and resolution, even though one is calculated in the Lightroom Classic with the super resolution setting, and the other one is done in the camera. That one here is done in the camera, and you can see here that's a resolution of 16,000 by 10,000. That's a pretty big image. And the other one here is calculated or done super resolution in Lightroom Classic, and that is the one which irritates me a little bit, because here you got the original resolution. You get it only if you export this image to JPEG, or let's say to a TIFF image. As you could see, the high-res or super resolution mode in Lightroom was a little bit better, I think, than the high-res mode in the camera. It depends on the mode you're photographing. There are two modes implemented. The mode 1 is usually for non-moving objects, and if you're shooting for a tripod, but there is another mode, that is the mode 2, where you can shoot such high-res modes freehand, and sometimes you avoid other problems with this implementation. So personally, I would prefer the software method, because you still have the option to enlarge such an image if you need it, and you don't have to think about it right away by taking the picture. And on the other hand, if you do it in the camera, you might run into some problems, because the camera takes 8 pictures in a very fast mode, but still, if you have a moving object in the scene, that might lead to ghost images that you can still avoid if you choose mode 2, but then the camera doesn't have enough pixels at this point where you have the moving objects, so you might as well not getting the real resolution you're looking for. So at this test, I would personally prefer the software method to do a super resolution in the software, like in Lightroom Classic, and still have the reserve, if I still think about it while taking the picture, to do it right away in camera if there's a very special scene I want to take a picture of, or something like that. If you have any questions to this, you might as well place them in the comments, or in the comments to the corresponding blog post. And if this video was a little bit helpful to you, you might think about placing a like on the video, and more important, just hit that bell and subscribe my channel, so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Okay, that was my little review on in-camera high resolution mode, especially with the Lumix cameras. And all I have to say is, till the next time, ciao, tux oche.